31 Days of Horror with Mark.
Hey. So 31 Days of Horror has begun on my side of things. I can see we chat thing, no viewers. I'm just going to talk anyway because this is going to get loaded up onto YouTube. So as per tradition, and every kind of year since I've actually kind of started this, with the exception of 2016 itself, because it kind of started by accident for me, where I'm going to cinema to see The Girl with All the Gifts. Since then, I've actually kind of started it with like one of the Universal monsters. So I've got this as well. Again, I don't know if that looks reversed or no. Like, it definitely looks reversed on that kind of on the screen here. I might need to kind of watch it back afterwards, kind of thing. But yeah. So yeah, watched that one the night. The Wolfman, 1941. Yeah, very much enjoyed. Sorry. So basic kind of thing. I mean, you guys probably kind of know the whole werewolf legend. Guy comes back to his like his kind of family home after like a personal tragedy, and is kind of asked to kind of help take over the state. Starts kind of leching over a lass, quite stalkery. It's quite funny. Like looks her up through his telescope. Kind of on the creepy side kind of thing. But yeah, so and I'll just keep saying yeah, apparently. From pretty much everybody else, he starts hearing the wolf legend. In fact, I think it's within the space of maybe 5 minutes, at least 3 people mention the wolf poem thing, and it's just like, all right, people, but like, there's no this kind of like with Dracula, for example, there was like a lot of kind of like the villagers were like, oh, don't go up that mountain because there's a Dracula up there, and well, a vampire, but yeah, this there's no, aside from the poem, there's no like a huge amount of kind of superstition around it. No, everybody's like, oh, don't go out the woods because like you'll get mauled, or keep off the moors and keep to the roads, and none of that pish is kind of happening in it. So that was quite interesting. It's a bit of a slow burner, which was absolutely kind of fine. It doesn't kind of just kick off with the wolfy action. There's like build up and there's kind of story, which again is quite good. The Lon Chaney was an absolute giant. I can see why the castle. Although it's really kind of weird. So they've got this kind of really tall guy kind of playing like the Wolfman. He's not even kind of listed by his actual kind of like birth name in the in the actual kind of thing. He's actually kind of like listed as the Wolfman in the credits, which I actually thought was quite funny. But he is actually referred to by name in the actual kind of like thing. So usually like now it's like the Wolfman / like I think it's, Larry Talbot kind of thing. And this is like, all right, okay, fine. He's just the Wolfman. But yeah, like I say, giant in a bloke. But like every time he plays the Wolfman, he's hunched over. So it just seemed really kind of like weird that they actually kind of cast this tall bloke and it's like, right, okay, you need to hunch. So I thought that was quite funny. He's also like the other funny thing that I thought, he's actually got a set of werewolf clothes. So every time he actually kind of turns into the kind of like the Wolfman, he's rocking like a darker shirt and a darker kind of like pair of bottoms. And even before that, like he's kind of prepped wearing this kind of stuff. It's like oh, I'm about to turn into a wolf, so I need to kind of wear this creepy ensemble kind of thing. So again, I thought that was quite amusing as well. Makeup effects were really cool. Obviously, you didn't kind of get a full-on transformation like you do in American Werewolf in London, for example. But considering it was like 1941 at the time, there's nothing wrong with what was done. In fact, I think the transformation wise, you kind of basically kind of see that he's getting a bit hairy. He's no shaved his legs in a while, and so and then they get like furrier and furrier, and then he gets like wee wolf claw like feet things, and then he kind of like walks out on his tiptoes kind of thing. And then the next time you see him, he's out in the kind of like woods, all wolf like and everything. So yeah, as I say, I like the slow burner aspect. I like the fact that like it didn't just jump straight into it. I thought everybody acted really kind of well in it. They're like, with these kind of films, there's like always a tendency, like again considering the time, there's always like a tendency for cheesiness. So thankfully that wasn't actually like a massive kind of thing. Like it was just, I think there was one lass that like overreacted at one point. Like it wasn't as kind of like, as much as I loved The Invisible Man, that's been my favourite one I've watched so far, the kind of list there. But there there was only one overacting lass at one point, and she just kind of like, I'm pretty sure she was told to leave somewhere, and she was like, okay, like it was that like, oh, calm down, it's fine, like we understand that you're freaked out and stuff. But yeah, but like overacting wise, like that's right. Everybody else is actually really good. You've got Claude Rains, who actually played the Invisible Man. Bela Lugosi's in it as well. Who, again, if you didn't know, played Dracula. Like I think it's fairly kind of it's a fairly kind of famous take on Dracula. Everybody kind of should by this point know Bela Lugosi kind of thing. So yeah, he cameos in it as well. Again, because this, like the Universal Monsters, pretty much kind of done the MCU before the MCU was an actual thing, because they obviously started doing crossovers with their characters, and Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, and all that kind of jazz a wee bit later on, which I've yet to kind of see. But like you can see that they were obviously like, they were quite a close knit kind of family. This one, like I think Boris Karloff's appeared in kind of multiple ones as well. Well, yeah, because he played both the Mummy and Frankenstein, or Frankenstein's monster, if we're going to get technical on it. So that was so it was quite cool to kind of see, like in the kind of credits, like all these kind of like, oh, like I actually know that guy, because says I loved Invisible Man. So like I think Claude Rains is one of the first people credited. But yeah, there's the love interest, but again, thankfully the love interest isn't kind of just cut and dries and, oh, he meets a girl and they're like, ooh, we like each other, and like it's kind of like there's a love triangle thing going on. And so like he fancies this lassie, as I say, he spies on her from far away, like a telescope, and then he kind of goes and kind of like asks her stalker questions, which obviously, like, given if this was actually kind of happening today, you'd be like, oh, what the hell's going on here? Whereby he like says, oh, like you've got a pair of those earrings on your dresser upstairs, and she's totally nonchalant about it. She's like, sorry, what now? Which it's like, no, you should be questioning the creep that's just coming to your store and kind of introduce himself for the first time, and not actually like told you how he's able to kind of like see you and stuff. So and then she tries to sell him a cane, and he's gawping at her the whole time, and yeah, it's a little bit in the creepy side, but she's actually engaged, which I actually thought was quite cool. So there's no like just a straight up kind of love interest. It's a little bit kind of like, it's a little bit controversial, maybe even kind of for the time, like it. Whereby she does obviously have feelings for him, but like they can't let it show, and so again I thought that was quite interesting, rather than just kind of straight up, well, like damsel in distress. Like there was actually like a bit of a layer to the whole kind of thing, and like at one point the townswomen actually kind of all come into the store, like that where she works, and try to kind of harass her and stuff like that again. So I kind of like that aspect as well. The Doctor is probably one of the most unsympathetic characters in it, in that each time he's kind of told something, like, like being a doctor and everything, you'd think that he would actually, Hippocratic oath, he'd be like, oh, don't worry, we'll look into that. Come round my office and we'll make sure you're okay, and like we'll give you like doctor hugs and all the rest of it. And like the doctor's just like, go and have a rest. It's absolutely kind of fine. No, don't worry about it. There's nothing wrong with you. Police, the police presence in it as well are quite happy to hand over evidence used in a murder back to Larry as well, which again, I thought again was quite funny, because it was just like, well, like, no, you didn't hand the potential murder weapon over like to the person that kind of might have been the murderer. It's just like, it's just ridiculous. But again, it was also pretty amusing. This wasn't a straight out comedy. Like I said a few times, like I thought this has been quite funny, but like I wasn't kind of rolling about laughing. It was mainly kind of just the odd snigger kind of thing. Just as I say, just with the like some of the kind of stuff that kind of happened in the ring. But I think all in all, like I wasn't scared. But again, it's nothing to kind of say that back in the day, like if I'd kind of watched this at the time, like I probably would have been kind of like kind of creeped out kind of thing, and sensibilities of the time and everything. But like some of the kind of darker shots were like quite kind of cool. Like as I say, the makeup on Lon Chaney when he was like when he's full Wolfie. Again, I thought was really kind of cool. Like he played the kind of animal aspect quite well. Like but again, like because the previous kind of ones I watched of this, the monsters for the most part are obviously like in the makeup from the start. So like obviously Frankenstein's monster, the mummy, like Invisible Man for the he sits in kind of bandages, that kind of thing. So they're pretty much monsters straight away. So this was quite refreshing, the fact that like they actually kind of started with the human aspect and actually built on the actual kind of human character, which again I thought was quite cool. I'm just saying M a lot now. That is the first letter of my name. Aside from that, it was very enjoyable. Kind of try and kind of make this a wee bit more interesting next time I actually do one of these. I don't think I'm going to talk for too much longer, because I believe I'm running out of things to say. I can see there's only kind of one viewer at the moment. It looks as though it's just me, so I'll keep trying this throughout the month. It's mainly kind of for my benefit, so I'm actually kind of doing something kind of creative. The intention will be to actually load these up onto YouTube as well, so people can like watch the 31 Days of Horror. The intention as well is not like I'll be doing kind of wee sit down reviews. I'll be talking about like the actual kind of like the film itself. But I'll also, if there's a possibility of doing so, I'll try and kind of do like live kind of commentaries for kind of particular horror films as well there. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. As I say, I can't see anybody else kind of watching. It might be because I say they started at kind of 7:30, so if I do kind of pop this on YouTube, have a wee kind of watch. You can see the kind of very kind of cool intro that like my mate Richie kind of like edited for me. My other half kind of filmed with me in it. She claims she was director. She wasn't really. She just kind of walked about with my phone filming me, which was, you know, ever so slightly odd. She did, however, create this kind of awesome kind of logo, which is on this kind of like screen looks all kind of like backwards, but then when I look up on my kind of main display, it's gigantinormous. So that's pretty cool. And Graham Speedy for actually kind of doing the music for me as well. As I say, when I load this up on YouTube, you should be able to kind of see that. The intention will be, if I can't do it tonight, I think what I might do is do like a collection of them, just so I can edit in the actual introduction as well. Hopefully I get a few more viewers as I kind of continue to do this. I'll try and kind of start to make the timings a little bit more like essentially locked in, so you guys can actually kind of like join me and kind of watch me and comment, because obviously there's the chat thing when it comes to kind of Twitch as well, so you guys can kind of chat away in there as well. But yeah, I think I'm just going to wrap up there. All in all, Wolfman 1941, very enjoyable film, very kind of cool makeup, very interesting in terms, as it says, with the Universal monsters. They actually stuck with a character. I really liked the fact that the character was the main focus of the story, and not just, as it says, like just straight up the monster straight away, like kind of thing. They actually kind of built and gave this guy a bit of character development, let him actually act. You can kind of see his degradation, as he's like this kind of happy-go-lucky kind of like person when it first starts, despite the fact that there's the personal tragedy in his family kind of thing. I quite liked the fact that he was actually like quite nice. He was quite relatable. He didn't come off as an asshole. You didn't kind of go, oh, this guy totally deserves this. It was actually like, it was really kind of well acted, I thought. And as I say, it was really kind of cool to see that he actually kind of got the chance to actually be the character. Not to say that, for example, like all the other kind of monsters didn't get a chance to actually be monsters. But I like the fact that this guy actually got to be like the man, because obviously the film's called The Wolf Man. But yeah, that's my kind of 2 cents. Hopefully, as I says, next time I actually get a few more viewers. But I'll post this up on YouTube so you guys can watch it later. Or if you want to, you can pop by Twitch. It'll be up there, I think, for at least 2 weeks anyway before it before it disappears. But of course, I'll download it from Twitch and then I'll upload it to YouTube. But thanks very much for watching. If you are gonna watch, and good evening.